Hey, what's up, y'all? It's D about to react to this vid by The Brown Experience. It's titled The 7 Levels of Setting Your Own People Back. Oh, and there are multiple different races that are selling their people back, it looks like in the thumbnail, which I appreciate, okay? We like diversity. I see King Batches here. Jesus. Oh, okay, let's see what's on here. Let's watch.
Is up with the people who love setting their own community back.
Not sure if a lot of people will agree with me on this, but I feel like making fun of your own race is one of the worst ways to blow up on TikTok. I'm an Asian person from California, and obviously I've seen all the jokes. And sometimes I just look at these creators and I'm like, damn, is it really worth all that? And you know, I understand people are very different in real life compared to how they portray themselves online. And maybe I'm just a hater, but I genuinely just don't see the vision. Like, yes, you'll get views, but you're just gonna be known as some guy who like is a complete degenerate in public.
If I'm around someone who's my race and they consistently make hard R jokes, watermelon jokes,
I would never be around them.
well jokes, I just cut them off because it gets to a point where it's just like, what are you doing?
It's like you can make a joke about yourself, that's fine, but to put down your own people constantly, that's a bit odd. Whenever I see someone do that, I'm just embarrassed for you. And for also really similar is when you look at a racist video's comments and you see something like, as a black man, as an Asian, as a Latino, that was accurate, that joke is funny. To the people who say these kinds of things, I want you to know that you gain nothing from this.
And they be lying. Do not fall for that, y'all. People be having profile pictures of races that they are not. And if you have to say, as a black person, you're not black. Sorry. As a this person, you're not that. As a doctor, you're nobody's doctor. You're a janitor. And that's fine. Accept that. But stop getting online in these comments and lying. I'm tired of that. Nobody who's... I've never... First of all, I don't leave comments anyway. Well, that's not true. I've been trying to be more active in people's comments. But very positively. Like, I follow people's like weight loss journey and stuff, so I'll leave comments of encouragement, like, oh, I relate to this, and oh, keep going. Like, I've been doing that lately. But I'm just talking about just in comments, just talking shit. But anyway, I have never left a comment and been like, as a such and such person, as a woman, as a black girl, as a I've never ever done that. Like, you're not that if you have to do that. I don't believe you, and you're lame.
I'm not sure what it's gonna take for my people to...
Because even if you are telling the truth, so fucking what? You're one person, so who cares what your one ass thinks? And one person, like, so you don't represent the whole black race or the whole fucking female gender. Nobody give a fuck what you saying as if we made you the representative for all of us. Shut your bitch ass up. I hate that.
We realized that we're not welcome here. And as descendants of a nation that was once colonized, we tend to whitewash a lot. And that is a truly strange phenomenon that happens. We'll always be seen as the lackey, and as soon as they don't need us anymore, we're gone. And the faster that we realize that, the better it'll be.
Raja twins officially getting banned on Instagram. We can leave Balji, Ravi, and the Raja twins in the past because we don't live in a time where the only way that brown people can get forward is making fun of themselves.
By the way, in 2025, we're still rolling up the Raja twins pack. I mean, I don't even smoke, but that Instagram got smoked and the loud pack has got me coughing, I can't lie. But all jokes aside, today we are going to be looking into the 7 levels of setting your own people back. Because I actually realized that there's levels to the art form of setting your own community back generations. No matter what the race or gender is, the people who we're talking about here have done unspeakable harm to their community, and they've ruined their own community's reputation just with some social media clicks and likes, yeah? Let that sink in for a second. Now I want to shout out Jukely for the concept of this video, because he basically started this 7 levels trend which every YouTuber has copied, and he started it with his 7 levels of rapper video, which I actually watched when it first dropped. It's kind of crazy to me that this became a trend, but yeah, shout out to him for the idea. And I thought, let me jump on this video for my niche. But before we dive in, make sure you guys run up the likes and drop a comment, because it makes a massive difference as to how the video performs in the algo, and also hype up the video.
Okay, y'all support
tip level. Now with this level, think about the Instagram real comedians, think about the live streamers, think about those guys who will slut themselves out for a viral clip. Now with brown creators in particular, we already know the jokes that they like to bring. The head bobble, the Indian accent, the stereotypical Indian songs, the Indian smile jokes, yeah? Probably some of the most original jokes I think I've ever heard. Now don't get it twisted, you can be funny whilst making jokes about South Asian culture. And obviously I'm not the police of comedy, but there is this one guy who's been popping up on my feed recently called Zayn, who's actually creative with it, and his skits are actually somewhat funny. So shout out to him. But bro, when it comes to people like this Farzi guy who made the video on screen right now, it's clear that this is just rage bait, and I'll be honest, it's not even funny. I mean, maybe my sense of humor is just broken. Because I think the time that I got fired from one of my old jobs on a random Saturday brought more amusement to me than this video on screen. And by the way,
Termination of service.
It's a long story. And people in the comments on this video might be like, oh, TV, why are you getting pressed for? It's just a joke. Why are you acting so soft? Go touch some grass. But the reason why I don't let this type of thing slide is because when you give shameless, degenerate people like this an inch, that's when they think they can run off with a mile, yeah? Always remember that. We need to nip this in the bud immediately. And the worst part is, this Farzi guy is Indian himself, but he has the nerve to make another video complaining about racism against Indians. Like, bro, you're literally part of the reason why it's happening. Like, you just have no self-awareness. That's like me listening to Tom McDonald every day, then wonder why my ears are bleeding. Like, make it make sense, please. And I feel like we need to start making shame expensive again. Because the thing is, this video got over 2 million likes, but I'm 90% sure this video didn't even make a lot of money, just based on how the TikTok monetization works. So you really just hold yourself out and threw millions of us under the bus for very little reward. Because best believe, that video doesn't represent me. I mean, we were roll-on and spread.
Okay, I was wondering at first, I'm like, wait, because he just was showing the very beginning, but then he showed that, oh, Indians don't wear deodorant. That was the punchline. But yeah, that's super corny to do when you're Indian yourself.
But the reason why this type of content is only level 1 is because realistically, it's not as bad as some of the other content, and he is doing this under the guise of jokes and comedy, which can appeal to some people. And to be fair to this Farzi guy, that video is a few years old, and his content has improved since then. And when I say improved, I'm talking about the same way that inflation has improved. So yeah, it's still pretty bad. But level 2 of setting your own people back is the cultural character. And more specifically, I'm talking about guys like Uncle Roger, the Malaysian minstrel. Now, if you don't know, Uncle Roger is basically a character created by the Malaysian comedian Nigel Ng, who got his come up by reviewing egg fried rice videos made by people in the West. And he was basically criticizing them for not making it the traditional way, whilst playing the role of an exaggerated Malaysian uncle. And one of his most popular videos was calling out the popular chef Jamie Oliver for his egg fried rice recipe. And honestly, Jamie Oliver does deserve calling out, but that's for other reasons. But this cultural character that he created led to him getting over 10 million subscribers on YouTube, which is just crazy. Now, Uncle Roger is a bit of an interesting one because depending on who you ask, you'll get very different responses on whether he did damage to the East Asian community or not. I asked one of my guys in real life what he thought, and he summed it up nicely by saying that creators like Uncle Roger didn't really set Asians back, but they stopped the progression for other East Asian creators. So clearly, my boy didn't have too strong of an opinion on him, but he clearly acknowledged that Uncle Roger didn't really benefit the East Asian community. Now, if you go onto the Asian American subreddit, then there are quite a lot of posts talking about Uncle Roger, and I even saw a video essay by another creator talking about how characters like Uncle Roger and Stephen He exploit the Asian community for profit. And I think the general consensus is that characters in skits like this do promote negative stereotypes, and people in their community are basically just bored of it, especially the whole accent thing, because the Chinese Malaysian accent that Uncle Roger puts on isn't even his real accent. And even a cooking creator that I watch quite a lot called J. Kenji Lopez, oh, shout out to him because his recipes are actually very nice, called this out and called a spade and said that Uncle Roger's content promotes racism. And if you think about it, his content kind of does. Him being so popular and using the accent basically gives non-Asians a pass to do it too. Because look, this guy is literally Malaysian, right? And he's a character and he's doing it and it's getting views. So
for each of these levels, it encourages other races to join in making fun of your own race, and then they project that towards your race outside of your content. So it is a very sellout thing to do. I wish he would give us examples though, because I don't know these people. He kind of did with the first guy and like kind of showing that clip, but I don't know this guy at all. So he should have showed a clip of what he's doing or how he's speaking.
Yeah, I can do it as well, right? That's how some people genuinely think. Now with his content, I'm pretty sure the whole joke is Westerners cooking Asian food badly, and I'm sure he's not intending to be a caricature and make fun of Asian accents. So bro, you have to be a bit self-aware and at least acknowledge that this could do harm to your community. Like, what is it with these creators and just lacking self-awareness? Like, imagine if I decided to call myself Uncle Raj, put on an Apu-style Indian accent, did the head bobble and all, and then called out white people for how they make curry. Like, come on, bro. This is actually a form of minstrelsy. And the sad part is, Nigel Ng is actually a funny guy. I watched his old stand-up about Butlins, and I found it pretty relatable and funny. So it's kind of sad that he has to resort to this as a career. But any of my East Asians who watch the channel, let me know what you think of Uncle Roger in the comments. And off topic, but I recently watched the show Beef on Netflix, and that show is so fire. And I have to say,
it's really good. I watched this years ago, though. You kind of late, brother. But yeah, it's actually really good.
Probably some of the best East Asian representation I've seen. Like, I wish in the South Asian community we had a show like that. So let me know what you guys think of that show as well. No.
Yeah, there were no like stereotypes, or it was just, I don't know, they're American, so they have American accents. Like, everybody has an American accent, and there was no like Asian stereotypes or just Asian weird shit at all. It was just like a good story, and it didn't have anything to do with their race, so to speak. I mean, I think the main character is Korean, so maybe some things were brought up here and there, but it wasn't the focal point, I'll say that. It was just about beef. The beef that they had conflict, all right? Yeah, it was a really good series. I liked it a lot.
Level 3 might just be the originator of setting your own people back, and that is none other than King Batch. Now, from 2014 to 2016, King Batch was one of the biggest creators on an app called Vine, which no longer exists, RIP to Vine. But he got his fame by making 6-second clips which contain jokes about black people eating chicken, black people eating watermelon, black people committing crime. Like, you get the idea. And the reason why I say King Batch is the originator of this type of content is because a few years ago, a white guy made a very well-researched video essay on King Batch being a modern-day minstrel and how the content that he was making was pretty much digital blackface. And someone tweeted saying, if someone white put this level of dedication into explaining why I'm a minstrel, then I just end my career. And bro, that tweet had me dying. And King Batch's content is basically in the same realm as Lily Singh's old content and even KSI's old content, where all of his skits revolved around KFC and being black. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I grew up watching KSI, but I didn't realize until years later some of the damage that KSI had done, especially for Nigerian people who lived in majority white areas. And I was talking to one of my Nigerian friends, and he said he couldn't escape the Baba Tunde and Falabi jokes during high school. And as Indian people, I think we're all well aware.
I had no idea. I started watching KSI when he was doing his Try Not to Laugh shit, I feel like. And then with some content when he was with Simon. But I didn't watch his like really early shit.
Of the damage that Lily Singh has done in our community. But the reason why I put these guys at level 3 and why I think their content is worse than someone like Uncle Roger is because these guys have tried to transition into mainstream media and they haven't even acknowledged the jokes that they made back in the day. Like, King Batch is literally an actor on Netflix, and Lily Singh just released a movie of very dubious quality. But these guys never acknowledge their past on YouTube or some of the harmful stereotypes which they show to the world about their own people. But instead they cashed in when it was acceptable to be internally racist, and now they're trying to make it in avenues like acting by riding off their old fame. Yeah, I don't know if we can let that run. Now, level 4, I mean, do I even need to say anymore? It's guys like the Raja.
You have to, because I
did a full video on these guys last year, and you know, they did help in giving me a bit of my come up, so thank you for that. But the reason why I'm bringing them up is not because their content is bad. I mean, even someone blind could see that. But it's the fact that when I made my last video, I had so many people in the comments saying, as an Indian, I don't care. As an Indian, stop crying. This might be worse than the Raja twins, because we all know that these guys are a meme and that they're degenerates, and deep down they know that themselves. And my theory is that the CIA funds these guys because, not to be a pocket watcher, they're clearly not making money off of brand deals or TikTok, so how else are they getting paid? But to be in my comments defending degenerates like this is just a different level of embarrassing. First of all, these guys don't know you, they don't know you exist, so why are you getting on your knees for them? Like, bro, I actually can't stand people like this. And low-key, the backstabbers and the people who are Indian who defend racism are genuinely worse than actual racists. But yeah, don't spend your time online defending the Raja twins. Please stay in school. But anyway, tell me in the comments what your price would be to make videos like the Raja twins, because for me to even consider, I would need generational wealth and like the type that Central C raps about before I ever consider doing some of the cringe stuff that these guys do. Okay, now I know I'm all laughing and joking, but level 5 is where things start to get bad, and level 5 is what I call real life. Now, the first 4 levels you can kind of consider as not being that deep. I mean, they are a bit deep, but it's all online stuff, and I doubt it impacts the minds of people who aren't also online. But when you take the degenerate stuff that you do online and then you translate that into real life is when it becomes an issue. And that's where we get into the case of Arvanish. And if you are lucky enough to not be familiar with his content, then the rundown is that this guy is a TikToker who was obsessed with girls that look like Miley Cyrus, girls that look like Anna Nicole. Basically, he's obsessed with white girls. To the point where it was real life creepy, and to the point where he caught actual charges. Now, loads of other creators have made videos on this, so I don't need to bore you with the details. But bro, never let the clout that you get online and the attention that you clearly missed out on when you were younger get you in a position like that where you're now on a literal list. And the thing is, this has happened before online with the whole EDP situation, if you guys remember that. But the reason why this is worse is because Arvanish is someone brown who did something so deplorable in real life. And the fact is, most of the videos online are to do with his racial fetishization of white girls as a brown man. And people have it in their head that this is all Indian men. So yeah, he did set us back, I'm not gonna lie. But I don't want to give too much attention to that type of thing because yeah, it's disgusting. And honestly, it should be the highest level, yeah. Forget level 5, this is like just not even a level to me. It's not all doom and gloom in terms of Indians committing crime. Obviously, I don't advocate for Indians committing crime, by the way. But there was a case recently with a guy called Varun Suresh. Now, disclaimer, I do not advocate for what this guy did, and I can't even say what he did on here. But go read about his case because low-key, he may have set us forward. I mean, especially if you support the whole vigilante movement. But again, I don't advocate for committing crimes. Now, we've got level 6, one of the lowest regions you can go to. Level 6 is what I like to call the I wish that I could be like the cool kids, whitewashed brown politician section. And these are the Indian American, often Republican politicians who are basically trying to fit in and make white people like them without realizing that, bro, they're never gonna let you in. They're not really feeling you. Now, we've seen Vivek getting called out.
It's common in the black community too. It's so embarrassing.
At the Christian rally for being Hindu. And we know that Vivek's embarrassed himself a few times already, especially with how he let that white lady say that she wouldn't vote for him just because he's Indian. But that's old news. And we've even seen Usha Vance, who I know isn't a politician, get involved in some sort of triangle with Erica Kerr. Yeah, I don't know what's going on in America, man. It's all crazy out here. But the newest addition to this genre of politicians is Kash Patel. His name is actually Kashyap Patel. I want that to be known, yeah? His name is Kashyap Patel because, bro, your name is already nice and it's probably the only remotely cool thing about you. So why'd you have to shorten it and westernize it? I mean, we know the reason why, but it's still a shame. But yeah, Kash Patel so far is probably most known for absolutely botching the Charlie Kirk investigation whilst being head of the FBI. And also for saying, I'll see you in Valhalla when speaking about Charlie's death. Like, really, bro? Valhalla in the Big 25. Valhalla is also the Nordic heaven in Norse mythology, and it's mainly a white heaven. But yeah, nice one, Kashyap. Good luck getting invited there. But bro, this whole genre of politicians is so weird to me. And the reason why these people are worse than anyone making racist jokes is because these guys have some actual influence on policy and what goes on in their country. And best believe they couldn't care less about the average Indian American. So therefore, they set our community back and they definitely don't represent us. Now, you may be wondering what level 7 is. How can it get worse than Kashyap and the gang? But I thought long and hard about this, and at level 7, unfortunately, I'm gonna put the brown experience at level 7. Guys, I've done the most damage to our community. I set us back the most. I'm sorry, I apologize. No, but genuinely, I couldn't even think of a level 7 to finish trying. I actually don't even think it gets worse than the get on your knees for the white overlords politicians. But maybe that is something that I can think of, but it might need its own YouTube video, so stay tuned for that.
Now, sir, you could have found somebody else, all right? It's the 7 levels. I want to see all 7, okay? But this was very interesting getting insight because I don't know a lot of Indian creators, so you know, it was interesting hearing him go over, you know, how they're selling out their own people. He mainly focused on them because he said he's Indian himself. So, you know, that makes sense. And, you know, they're very similar. The things that he pointed out is very similar to the coons in the black community. So I definitely relate to what he's saying. And it is, you know, really embarrassing to see your own people put down, you know, your group. It's just like, bruh, especially when you're already receiving racism from other groups. It's like, you too? Like, come on. You know, it's really sad. But yeah, interesting vid. Y'all let me know what y'all think, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.